Hi cozy friends! It's good to see you again this week. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I still have some clips to show you from our Thanksgiving, so we'll get into that in a second because it was so pretty and it was so much fun. I wanted to show you even though it's like a week after. But so we're gonna be doing a little bit of that in this vlog, and then also some Christmas tree decorating and some cozy crafts, some cozy like winter crafts and hobbies. So that's gonna be so much fun. But I did want to start with a little baby reset of the bedroom because after going through my whole closet, which if you haven't seen, please go watch the last vlog because we went through the entire closet. It took like half of a day. It was so satisfying, so if you haven't seen it, definitely watch that. It looks like this now. It's beautiful and organized and all crafty and accessible. However, y'all saw how much I decluttered, right? There was a lot to declutter, and a lot of that is sitting in my bedroom right now. But a lot is stuff that I want to list on Facebook Marketplace for free to give away to people. So I just want to reset my bedroom. It needs resetting, so let's go. Come on. Real quickly, I also got this PR from Quarto. It's like a publishing company, kind of advent calendar thing for the holidays. And day one was cozy coloring and drawing with Bobbie goods. I love, y'all know, I don't have to repeat myself. I have like every coloring book she's ever done, but this one is so cute. It's like a little, it like teaches you how to color some things or how to draw some things, and then it's just wintry pages, but then some like pages in between to draw. How cute is that? Also, speaking of December 1st, the Study with Ara wallpapers are the ones I always use every month. And this is my favorite one. I'm so glad she brought it back this December. So remember to change your monthly wallpapers, y'all. Also, this week I'm going to the book retreat, but the San Diego one. If you haven't seen the book retreat video from last year, because I'm not going to vlog this one because I just want to kind of unwind a little bit more on this one. Last year it was in Temecula and it was so much fun, and I went with my mom. This year I'm taking Maya and it's in San Diego and it's like a little winter themed one, and I'm so excited. And we started reading, do I have it with me or is it downstairs? The Christmas Fling, that's the like book club book we're reading for the weekend. But okay, let's reset. I'm procrastinating. Okay, here's the first thing I'm decluttering. I'm kidding, Tila. I would never. I love you. Okay, this is some of like my old tech filming stuff. So this is just, I'm just gonna find somebody who wants this, and I'm sure there will be somebody who wants this. Things I thought I needed that I didn't, things I used for a while and then upgraded, sandbags, you know, that. Then I have Cricut stuff. I think I'm keeping this one, but Cricut accessories I'm gonna get rid of because I just don't use it. I've had it for 2 years and I'm like, maybe I'll use it, and then I don't, so I'm gonna give that away on Facebook Marketplace. This is all donation stuff. These that were in PR, I wanted to keep them intact because I feel like somebody could gift this to their kid for Christmas and that'd be cute. Someone else will appreciate them more. I just have way too many of them right now. And then this stack, this is going to someone specific. Some Lego packs, some craft packs. This is just gonna go to whoever. And then I also have laundry to do that Sheila's sitting on right now. Let's get into the resetting. I need to take some pictures of this stuff to upload for the listings. I just want the crap out of here. Okay, let's start with pictures. It's time for laundry. Sheila, unfortunately, it is time for laundry. It's time for laundry. Let's go. You can't yell at me when you're on my clothes. Okay friends, now that we're all reset in the bedroom, I want to talk to you about our cozy sponsor, Canopy. So I always love to reset my spaces in December and January. It just feels like the perfect time. You're moving from one year to the next and you're just getting stuff refreshed and you're making sure everything is working well for you. And y'all know I rely on Canopy for a lot of purifying products in my home. I have a shower head that filters that water, faucet filter, and then I have a bathtub filter that's meant to be like a baby bathtub filter, but I use it because I'm like, I want my bath water to be filtered. And I also use their humidifier, but they recently came out with An air purifier fits right into any space you have. It doesn't look like an eyesore. And then if you have the canopy humidifier, it just sits right on the bottom. It's like has this little stacking feature, and I think that's so perfect. And then it has this USB-C plug in the back so that you aren't missing out on like a charger if you need it. So what are the benefits of an air purifier? Let me tell you, according to the EPA, we spend 90% of our time indoors. That's a lot. That's a lot of time indoors. And the air indoors can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than the air outdoors. Like for example, dust mite allergens were found in 85% of surveyed homes. I personally have felt that difference. Like when I wasn't using air purifiers, I would sneeze more. I just felt more discomfort. So if you do notice yourself like sniffly and sneezy and just a little bit congested when you wake up, might be time to look into a purifier. And some of the fun nighttime features, there's a sleep safe mode, which means it's really quiet at night. And then there's a little night light. It's so cute. So if you are in the market for air purifier, if you're like, I don't know, Kennedy, I'm a little stuffy lately, maybe I should try it out, then you should use the link in my description to get 15% off. It's not gonna be 15% off forever, y'all. So I'll have that link in my description. Thank you so much, Canopy. And I wanna show you our Thanksgiving. Let's go. And we're here with my Godfrey, head chef at Casa de... Head chef at... Right.
Right.
And we're here the day before Thanksgiving. It's a big day. Maya, how are you feeling?
I feel fine. I feel completely fine.
Yeah. You want to give us a little rundown of the space, of the plan, of what's happening currently?
So yesterday started prep. Did some, yeah, don't look over there. Made turkey stock, prepped, brined the turkey, dry brined the turkey, took the stuff out, made a stock overnight. With that, made compound butter for the turkey.
You made compound butter?
I made compound butter. I compounded the butter. I don't think that's the same thing. Is it?
Well, at Casa de...
Right. And then I cut up all of my stuff for my stuffing. So today I am going to make said stuffing. I've got, bread is look at that. Getting nice and stale. It's not stale at all yet, but that happened yesterday. I might toast it now. The foil was supposed to prevent it from getting too stale, and now it's just not stale at all.
Oh, soup's on.
Soup's on. Cranberry sauce, happy. Never done that before. Hopefully it turns out well. There's verjus and Cointreau in it, and orange zest, so fingers crossed it's tasty. And then this is the stock I strained this morning.
Wait, is this from your trash?
That's my trash.
Tell them about the trash.
I'm the trash man. Everybody makes fun of me. I save all the veggie scraps, not all of them, but a lot of veggie scraps from like...
We've got an example.
Yeah, mostly celery in there. But
Here we go.
There's a bag of trash that I keep in the freezer that I add to over time whenever I'm chopping up vegetables because it makes a wonderful stock. So throw all my trash in a pot with the turkey necks and turkey neck, singular, and organs.
Giblets. Giblets.
So put all my trash in a pot, let it go for a long time. Now I've got stock. So that's going to be good for the gravy, amongst other things. The stuffing, which is going to be made today. Mac and cheese, going to be made today. Not baked, neither baked, just like prepared, put in pan, and then put away for tomorrow so it can like sit in itself. And to make tomorrow easier, even though there's still a lot to do. And then I'm going to make pumpkin cheesecake today. Potentially, I'm going to marinate the ham. Oh, and then table prep will be today.
Table prep today, yes, chef. What are we having for a breakfast snack over here, chef?
Egg.
Look at that egg. That's a good egg.
Just having egg.
Have an egg.
And maybe toast, but I haven't decided yet.
What'd you do to the turkey?
I put salt on it. I patted it down. Put salt everywhere. Everywhere. And then I didn't spatchcock it because I was scared. but it's like laid out in the fridge.
I'll show you.
Yeah, you'll see.
Chopped up lots of onions, I think I saw.
So many onions, my goodness. I'm gonna marinate the ham today with like the first thing, and then I'm gonna make the glaze that goes on as it's baking tomorrow. I'm gonna make a batched drink today so that there's less to do tomorrow. I'm not gonna start drinking it tomorrow. Did I say make the cheesecake? I have to make the cheesecake.
You did say make the cheesecake.
Great. I'm gonna toast pistachios, and then I'm gonna make the cheese sauce for the green beans, because that's just blending ricotta, feta, and some cream to like loosen it up, so that could just like be ready to go. And then yeah, table skates happening today. Flowers will be set out tonight. Things will be ironed and steamed and ready to go. So
beautiful.
That's that.
Beautiful. I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here to help. I'm gonna go through the plating based on what Maya told me yesterday. We've got a gravy container that my mom gave to us, I think last year, right?
Cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce. This one that we found on Mercari. How cute is this? Little terracotta plate. We know that because it broke, and then we had to glue the pieces back on with ceramic glue. But it's so cute. So green beans are gonna go there with a nice little contrast with beans. We just found this at, was it Home Goods or Marshall's? I think Marshall's. The Le Creuset. Rolls are gonna go in there. I need to wash this one, but this one is mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, stuffing in there, and then sweet potatoes in here. Those are all the dishes. Oh yeah, here's a lot of the prepped stuff, and then here's the turkey. Kind of just in here raw. Ooh, it's really smelling like stuff in here. Smells good though. So here's the salt brined turkey. Here's our little ham. And then we have cut up like, what is this? Celery and onions. Here's the butter, more onions. I'm not sure what those two things are. That's that. Got our green beans down there. Yay!
Okay, so this is the table. Center flowers will be arranged shortly.
Here's the flowers.
As you can
Beautiful
see,
selection.
a little bit of a theme here in terms of the burgundy. It's a baby, it's a baby, it's a baby, it's a baby, little baby, little baby, and a baby, little baby, it's a baby. Oh, now no, happy girl, baby, get attention. Right, so burgundy, green, brown.
Burgundy.
A little bit of white.
Over here.
Ah,
We landed
yes.
on some
Our
pears.
biblical fruit will go on the table, laid throughout, as well as that will go on the table as
Actually-
well.
Oh yeah, Judy's.
Looks like a wreath,
Right.
but it's a Judy.
It's a Judy.
Winding through, fruits laid out, table, boom,
Boom.
flowers, boom, and then potentially 2 smaller bouquets coming out just to bring it all together. And then there are 2 options. Haven't figured that out yet. This will be ironed too. Plate here under, boom,
Boom.
or just a regular old. But I see better than that.
Looks like a squid.
It does on the plate. One of the 2.
One of the 2. And then we have these chairs on the end. We'll take these off. But these chairs on the end, and then we're gonna do that bench that used to be behind there. We're gonna put the bench on one side,
Cover it.
and then 2 of the kitchen chairs on the other side. Cover that. And that's that. So these are the tablescapes, the final scapes. Oh, I never put these up. Okay, let me put these up real quick. And then Maya put these up the other day. These are the real wreaths. And then we just attached it to like a little ribbon. How cute is that? We put one on that side too, with the garlands, the little chain link garlands. Alright, just going down a really steep hill.
What are we doing?
I'm making the marinade for the ham.
How about you, Bev?
We've got the mac and cheese noodles cooked.
Cooked.
The sauce, if you will. candied part of that shortly.
This was the what?
This is the marinade for the ham.
Oh, there's a roasted garlic over here.
There's roasted garlic over there for the potatoes.
Good whisk.
You get what you get. Next! Not in the position to be complaining. Next! And by that I meant beggars can't be choosers. Beautiful.
The whole world's thanking you for thanking us for thanking you. Kill the turkey. And that's how it ends.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi friends! We're kind of crooked, aren't we? A little bit crooked. But I have 3 hobbies in front of me. Only 2 will continue. No, I want to do all 3. I have a gem painting kit, a little holiday gem painting kit. I have a paint by number kit. And then I have coloring. I have the book Christmas Corner. And then I have the one I just talked to y'all about earlier, the Bobbie Goods cozy coloring and drawing one that's like Christmas themed. Maybe I'll start with the paint. It's like a really simple kit I got last year at like Home Goods or Marshall's, one of the two. It's like very, very simple, like this simple. So I'm just gonna do that while I listen to the audiobook so that I can finish it before the retreat. I don't know why they give you one paintbrush, as if we don't need to, we need different colors. I didn't realize until I went to paint class, acrylic paint class, that you need water for acrylic paints too. You probably need water for all paints, I don't know, but I didn't know that. I was just like going in dry. Crazy, I know. I figure we can chitty chat, catch up, chit chat while I paint here and there. Oh wow, yeah. This just came out in like one piece. And I used to just be like, oh, that's just how the paint is. And I try and like use this hard paint on the piece, and it just needs water. A couple things I wanted to chit chat about. The first is this sentiment. I feel like it's just, I don't know, the universe sending me a message. More likely it's the algorithm monitoring certain patterns, but I've been getting a lot of videos that are like directly answering the current mental state and just happened for a while, which has been, I don't know, not necessarily defeatist, but just kind of like, just like a bit more pessimistic than I usually am. I think I've talked to y'all about how I'm like an overly optimistic person. I'm a person who like always believes the best thing is going to happen, and you know, not all the time obviously, but like generally that's how I just naturally think about things, or not naturally, but over years of training my brain to do that, like decades actually of training my brain to do that. But for as long as I remember, I've been somebody who's like, I want to do this thing, I can do it. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts, there's no like doubts. And obviously there's a roller coaster in that. There's times when I feel a little bit less like that, and then times when I feel more like that. I guess that's just where I am now, where I'm kind of in like a lull. I'm in a little bit more of a down slope of that, where I feel myself being a little bit more negative and a little bit less blind belief in myself and my abilities, and almost like leaving it up to the world and like other people and external circumstances, when I am usually always a person who takes action and knows that my life is in my hands and is completely an internal motion that I need to make, you know? And I think those things come hand in hand. Those things are intertwined. Is like you do feel a little bit more helpless when you are more pessimistic, and when you're more pessimistic, you feel like things are happening to me and I don't have control here. And it's kind of this vicious cycle of like, you feel like you don't have control, so then you're not taking action, and then things are happening to you because you're not taking action, so then it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you're like, see, bad things are happening to me and I can't do anything about it, and it's this cycle. And sometimes those bad things truly are out of your control and they are external, and there's nothing you can do about that. For me, that's not the case. And for a lot of the times, I think that we do have more agency in a situation than we tell ourselves when we're in a bad place mentally, because when we're in a negative bad place mentally, it is a little bit easier just to say, I can't do anything about this, things are happening to me, than to like take the reins and be like, all right, what can I do about this? It is like the path of least resistance to fall into like the negativity of it. And so that's just kind of where I've been lately. I don't know, like I think I was probably a combo of seasonal stuff, but also I think I got burnt out after finishing my book, which I didn't even give you guys an update, but like I fully finished my book this year. I think I genuinely was spending months, like 3-ish months, just healing from that process, and like maybe not healing, recovering from that process, because it was such an extreme locked in all-encompassing full brain power in, and also really demanding of time. Like, the rest of my schedule didn't change. I was still doing everything else, all of the content, everything, travel for work and all of that on top of having to write this book. And this is a recent realization I've had. Because I needed the time to recover after that, I wasn't able to spread myself out as much as I usually am, and I wasn't able to juggle as well as I usually am. And so I did have to like intentionally drop the ball on some things and just like not be as proactive in certain areas of my career, whether it was like certain platforms or like certain whatever it was. I had to step back and I had to say like, I can't do this anymore, or I just need to like do this a little bit less. And when you do that as a creator, you see the direct immediate results of it. Like, you feel them immediately, you see it immediately, with whether it's numbers, whether it's whatever. Like, being a self-employed person, and I'm sure anyone who is self-employed or, you know, owns a business understands this. It's like, the more work you put in, the more reward you see. It's direct. It's like, the more work you put in, you see the positive result of that. And so why would you not just keep putting more and more work in? And then when you need to step back, you see that dip, and then you're like, shoot, I can't step back ever. But you have to at some points, you have to. And so you have to like learn how to deal with that, with being okay with that. You have to just like regulate and be okay with that, and have a system in place to be okay with things not being at the same level all the time. And so that's what I've been dealing with. But I think instead of having that perspective and zooming out like I have now after reflecting and having time and all of that, instead of that, I just saw the dip, watched myself being unable to like do as much as I was maybe this time last year or even earlier in the year, and looking back at last year like, God, how was I able to do so much? And just feeling bad about myself, really. Just like really leaning into like feeling bad about myself, feeling like I didn't have a reason to be feeling that way, getting into that mindset of like, this is happening to me. That's that. Like, I'm just in this rut. I'm in this rut. And that's why I feel like internally kept happening is just like, I'm in a rut, you know, floppy rut. And because I do have a healthier internal dialogue these days, I was able to step back and be like, no, it's just, you know, it's the nature of everything. It's needing time. But then I would just go right back to it, and I would just, anytime something wouldn't go the way I would expect or whatever, I would go, I'm in a rut. And so it's only been recently, like as in this past couple of weeks, I think, because I was able to step back and lighten my load a ton, because how I would respond to that then was just piling more on. I was like, well, if I'm in a rut in this way, I'll just work harder in these ways, and I'll just take more on in these ways. So then I would be taking more on my plate over here, but then not really, still like dropping the ball and like doing less over here. So it was still not a good balancing act. It was just me like piling more on here because I don't know, that made me feel better, I guess. I don't know. So anyways, now these past couple of weeks, now that I've been able to push that aside and like take these things off my plate, now I can it feels like I can look around and have some perspective. And that perspective has been, oh, you needed time, girl. You needed time. Like, you went through a really crazy experience. Like, you wrote a whole book. Like, I was sitting here looking back on this year, like, this year sucked for me. Like, this was my flop year. Like, this was just like a whatever year, a skip year, and like I'll just have to, you know, pick up again next year and like lock in more next year. And like looking back, I had so many, like, it's so crazy what the brain does to you. It's so crazy what your mental state and your mind can convince you of and craft these stories that just aren't true. And that's why it's so important to reflect and just to have those moments where you can sit down and like be real with yourself and look at things objectively. And that's why I like to do my like weekly resets and my check-ins and all of that, because it's like it brings you back to reality. Like, you need to have these systems that bring you back to reality, because otherwise our brains will just go off. Yeah, like I had so many amazing experiences. I had like career highs and life highs. I like it baffles me that was even a thought in my mind, but like giving myself grace, I wasn't in a good place. But like, yeah, career highs. Wrote an entire book this year. Like, Good girl. So, and I share all that not to just like talk about myself and like pat myself on the back and be like, whatever. Like I share all that to hopefully connect with somebody else who is feeling similarly right now and feeling like I'm in a rut, I'm in my flop era, I'm just not able to do what I was before, or whatever you're feeling. If you are feeling like I am in a rut, please give yourself grace. Like, please give yourself grace. Try to like journal and reflect and look back at the entire year and point out all the things that you did do. Point out all the things you did this year that you didn't do last year, that you have never done before in your life. Point out all the things that you did for the first time, tried for the first time, pushed yourself for the first time. Point out all the times people said thank you and thank you for doing this and you did this so well. Point out all of the times that you were just happy and had fun. Our brains can tell ourselves lies so extreme and so like untrue, and it's just, that's what a lie is. It's just a way to cope. It's a way to cope. It's a way to lessen feelings, any like negative feelings that you're feeling. It's easier to be like, everything's terrible, instead of holding the nuance of like, yes, some things aren't as good as last year, or like, yes, I'm not performing in these objective ways as well. Yes, I just don't feel as good doing the same things I was doing before. But also, look at all of these good things. Look at the things I did accomplish. Look at the things I'm still doing on a day-to-day basis. Look at the, routine I'm able to maintain. Look at the friends I'm able to maintain. It's much more difficult to hold both of those truths that are seemingly in conflict, but they are not. They're just both true. They're both completely different feelings that you have about yourself and the situation you're in. So in times before, when like I was not, I objectively was doing way worse, like I was objectively way worse off, even though at the time, proportionally to where I was, like I was doing well, but like I was objectively doing worse than I'm doing now. I had more belief in myself. I had more hope in myself. I had more of a grasp of the agency and the choice that I have over my actions and what I choose to do and what happens to me. I had more belief in myself then than I do right now in this like weird mindset that I've been in. So all of that to say, I've been getting TikToks and like reels or whatever of people talking about this exact thing of like, you are in control of your reality, and not in a woo-woo way. If you want it to be a woo-woo way, it can be a woo-woo way, but like not in a woo-woo way. Just, you are in control of your reality because you are in control of yourself. Like telling yourself over and over and over, because the mind is such a powerful thing. Visualization is a powerful thing. Like manifestation in the sense of like you tell yourself you can do something, so then you carry out those actions to do it. And then it happens because you carried out those actions and you believed you could do it. That's it's real. Telling yourself over and over and over and over every day, everything that you do, everything you try, this is bad. No one cares. I'm not good at this. I'm worse at this than I was before. What am I doing? I can't succeed in this. Why am I even trying to do this new business or this new path or this new whatever? All of those self-doubting, defeatist thoughts will shape your reality because you're constantly telling yourself that. So what actions will you take that counteract that? If you're constantly telling yourself, I can't do this, this is bad, why would you ever consciously or subconsciously take actions that don't just confirm that? Why would you take actions that prove that wrong? You wouldn't. You're just going to keep acting in ways that confirm that belief in yourself. Because again, your mind is a powerful thing. You believe what you tell yourself you are. You are what you tell yourself you are. You are what you tell yourself you can do. And constantly telling yourself stories about yourself, because that's what it is. Thoughts are just stories that we're telling ourselves, good or bad. It doesn't make them true. A thought doesn't make it true. If you have a thought of, I'm not good at this, I'm in a rut, I'm struggling, even just like I'm struggling at this, with no solution, with no follow-up of like, I'm struggling, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure it out. I will figure it out. I always figure it out. I'm bad at this right now. I won't be. I'm going to keep working at it. I'll be great at it. Without that, with just the negativity, that's where you're going to stay. That's where you're going to stay. It just is. And I know, because I've been there for the past like 3 to 4 months. And guess what? I've stayed because I've told myself that's all I can do. I haven't imagined anything different. It was the second that I went and I shook myself out of whatever spell I was under, and I went back to my original encouraging, validating, affirming self-talk and inner world, that immediately things changed. Immediately, like, I can't explain to you how immediate things changed. And will only continue. Will only continue to. Because why? Because I believe it. Because I believe it. Because I know it to be true. Because I know I'm in charge of my actions. I know I'm the one who's steering the ship here. There's no other way for it to go except for the way that I believe it's going to go. Because those are the actions I'm going to take. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm talking in circles. But, like, the core of it is your inner world becomes your outer world. Like, that's it. As simple as that. And not in a magical way. Solely just because whatever you tell yourself internally is what you do. Whatever you tell yourself is what you do. So if you want to be somebody who does XYZ, if you want to be someone who succeeds, tell yourself that's who you are. Tell yourself over and over and over. Tell yourself every day. Wake up in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror, write post-it notes on the mirror, write notes all over your desk, have little reminders pop up on your phone. However you need to constantly tell yourself and rewire your brain to tell yourself positive things and encouraging things and validating and affirming things about where you want to go, about your goals, about how you're feeling in life. Do that. Because it truly makes all the difference in the world. It's that, and it's... I think I just have lost recipes along the way. You know, I've lost original recipes because I used to be so much more on it with, like, reflection, sitting down at the end of the month, reflecting on that month, reflecting on what I'd like to accomplish going forward, like what direction I'd like to take, just like intentionality in general. I used to be much better at intentionality. In that intentionality and in those reflections, I would visualize who I was. I would state who I was. It was like the practice of scripting and visualization of, like, this is who I will be. I was much better at that these past years, and I definitely lost that this year. Again, giving myself grace because there's so much happening. But my goal, sharing this with y'all to hold myself accountable, is to pick that back up, be more intentional, not staying in autopilot, visualizing who I want to be every month, encouraging myself, affirming myself that I am that person every month. See how that changes things. And I think it also just changes how you feel internally about your day-to-day actions. Like, I feel like I've been dragging my feet for a little bit and just like, I have to do all these things. No, girl, you get to do all of these things. You get to, you know? It's an important mindset shift. I just wanted to talk about it with y'all. Yeah, because I feel like, I've talked about this before, I feel like that mindset is exactly what has brought me to where I am now. Like, I would not be where I am now if I wasn't as delusional as I have been my whole life. I have always been the person who's just absolutely delusional. Why not? Why not me? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Why not? I've always been a why not me type of person. And I think I got to a point where it started to become self-sabotage of, like, I think I flew too close to the sun. Like, this is my internal dialogue. Like, am I supposed to be here? Just this sense of imposter syndrome. Like, okay, yeah, I said I could do anything, but now I'm here. I'm exactly, like, at the peak of where I imagined I could be. And I don't think I imagined anything further than this. And so there's a fear of, like, well, I'm at the peak. There's nowhere else I can go. So it's only down from here. And there's this, like, self-sabotage, defeatist, imposter syndrome that takes over when, like, the reality of the situation is there's no end in sight. There's no end in sight for all of us. For all of us, wherever you are, even if you think you're at the peak of where you could be right now, you can go so much further. Don't limit yourself to thinking that, like, where you are is where you're always going to be. There's no reason. Again, you shape your own reality in a realistic way, you know? You shape your own reality. There's no reason that that's where you have to stay. There's no reason. Maybe your life is going to take 180 turns and you have no idea. And when you don't believe that for yourself, you don't open doors because you don't even allow yourself to conceptualize any different path. If you're like, this is my peak, somebody comes to you and says, hey, do you want to do this thing? Do you want to be put in this position? Do you want to go here? And you're like, no. Ooh, no, I'm at the peak right now. I can't do that. I'm at my peak. Well, what if that's like 2 times your peak? What if that door is 2, 5, 10 times your peak and you just closed it because you were so scared of losing what you had, or you were just scared of the unknown? You were scared of succeeding more than you already are. Yeah, I don't know. This has just been, it's been an eye-opening, awakening year for me of realizing like, oh, I do have a lot of things to work through. I have a lot more things to work through. And I think one of those is definitely like fear of success. I think I've always been a person who's like, I'm not scared of success. Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm ready. I'm running to success and I'm tackling it and I'm tackling the next thing. But I think there came a point where I arrived at the success I thought was the peak, like I said. And I'm like, shit. You know? And then that just comes with, now I have to embark on a process of rewiring my brain to be like, there's, the opportunities are endless. There's an endless, vast space above and around you to continue on. Where you are now does not mean it can only go down from here. And I've actually said that out loud too, and I'm embarrassed to say that. I've said that out loud. Again, words are so powerful. Words are so powerful. Like, I rebuke that. I rebuke it. I can't believe I have said that out loud before to my friends. I literally said, like, I'm the happiest I've ever been. I truly feel like it's only down from here. And I don't believe that. Again, I rebuke it. That just goes to show like the mindset that I was in and working through now is like, God, that's so sad and limiting, you know? So anyways, I'm blabbing a ton, but I just hope that that's like a little peek into my twisted brain. I hope that's a little peek into just a psychoanalysis I've been doing of pessimism and success and limiting beliefs and imposter syndrome and affirmation as opposed to negative self-talk, all of that. I hope that's helpful to somebody. I hope that somebody sees. I hope I'm not just bearing my crazy brain. I hope that there's resonance here. Because I do feel like that's a universal experience in many different ways. Like wherever you are in life, I think that there's a time where you stagnate a little bit and you don't know why. Or you feel like you just keep hitting roadblock after roadblock and you don't know why. And so I hope that is just I don't know. I don't have it figured out. I don't have it figured out, but like I hope we can figure it out together. Is all I'll say, and I'm here for you. If you want to vent to the void, please do. I always read every single comment, so I will see it. That's that. And I did want to yap about other things, but now I don't think I will because that's just a lot of yapping. Yeah, y'all, believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Like, who's gonna pick up the slack? Who's picking up the slack? No one. You have to believe in yourself. No one's gonna come and light a fire under your ass. No one's gonna come and tell you how to do things. No one's gonna come and affirm every step of the way, every single thing you're doing. You've gotta keep pushing, mistakes and all, and believe in yourself. And believe your bounds are limitless. Truly. I know it's corny. I know it sounds so corny, and I know it sounds so like, you know what I mean? It just sounds whatever, and I don't mean it in that way. I just mean it in the literal sense of like, you truly are, there's no script for your life. There's no set plan for your life. There is nothing telling you have to do what you're doing now. There's nothing telling you have to do something specific in the future. There's no script. You could be whoever. And that could be as small as like you could start being a painter tomorrow. You could start being a singer tomorrow. You could start being a teacher tomorrow. Or as big as like you could move countries and like learn a new language and completely change careers. It could be as tiny or as big as you need it to be for your journey and your happiness, but do not listen to the stories in your head that are limiting. Don't listen to those. Trust, because I've been on both sides. Trust me, life is so much better when you truly believe that it is limitless, because it is, because that's the truth. And like I said, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't as delusional and believed in my limitlessness as I did. And this is my vow to me, my promise to me, that I will continue to look at myself that way, because it's true. I'm gonna shut up now, okay? And I'm gonna get to painting. I'm doing all of the white parts, so you can't see that I'm doing anything, but I'm doing the white parts. Okay, I'm gonna listen to my book. Alright, y'all, I finished this kit. It's not, I couldn't get it as accurate as I'd like to, because the lines are just so delicate. They're so, like, I don't know if you can see. They're so tiny. Like, I don't have a brush, and the paint isn't as good of enough quality to get it that detailed, but I did it. And that's fun. Okay, next I think I'm gonna do the gem painting. I'll do a gem painting and then I'll finish up with this, because I don't know if I'll do a whole one, but we'll see. I don't know. This book, it's cute. It's well written, but it's a little slow. That's all I'll say. Okay, y'all, I did as much as I possibly could from this. I feel like my eyes are starting to cross, but this is a cute one. It's like small, so you can do it in one sitting. I think if I hadn't done the painting, I'd be able to finish this whole thing, but it's taking forever and I really want to get to the coloring. So I'm gonna leave it there, put the little plastic over it, and then get back to that another time. But I love it, he's so cute. Okay, you guys, the last hobby for today is the coloring book. I found a really cute one. Wait, where did it go? I found a really cute one. I think it was like a bookshop. There it is. Look how cute this one is. Is that not adorable? I'm gonna do that one. The book is good. Hi, we're slanted again. The book is really good. Like I said, good writing. I think the character work is really good. I will say, I love a slow burn. I love a slow burn. It's like my favorite trope. Like I love a slow burn. But this is like the slowest of slowest burns. Like I need like a little bit more yearning, I think. Like I think it's just a slow burn without the yearning. I need a slow burn with yearning. There's a touch of yearning. It's not quite the same. So that's my only note for this. Other than that, I'm enjoying it. Okay, y'all, I finished this coloring page. This one was so cute. I loved doing this one. I tried to do some of the like window, you know, reflection happening, but I don't know. I don't know if I got it down completely, but it's so cute. I love it. Oh, and I did some gel pen on the tree too to give it like the flocked snowy look. Yay. So cute. I will say this paper specifically, like what is this? Southern Lotus and like Cocoa Wayo. This paper is super thin, so it like that's, look at that. That's like a whole, it basically just goes all the way through. So you have to have stuff behind it for sure. Also, because it bleeds so much, like there's some areas where like if the border isn't thick enough, it bleeds over. Like it bled on the letters here. So just something to be mindful of, because I did not know that. But that was so cute. That was so fun. Oh, it's been a while since we had like a solid just cozy hobby session. Just back to back cozy hobby session. I am sleepy though, so I'm gonna go to bed and keep listening to my book because it's getting good. The slow burn is paying off. But I will see you tomorrow for some Christmas tree decorating. Bye.